apologies for absence.
Yes, we've got Councillor Rosalie Farmer, who is presenting her apologies as she has an alternative commitment at St Albans District Council.
Do we all resolve to accept Councillor Rosemary Farmer's apologies?
Yeah.
Okay.
Very good.
No, he's on holiday. Paul's on holiday.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll get him to, he should have notified you.
He should have done, yes, he
Yeah.
needs to just let us know if he's not able to attend, and then obviously we can recognise his apologies.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Any declarations of interest?
No.
Very good. Okay. Minutes of the previous meeting, which are in the pack. Does everyone agree they're a fair and true record?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
It's,
30th today. Already so soon. I believe it's all
I know.
21. 22 even next one.
So you can't even remember how old you are.
Do you know what? At this point, I just count them all the same.
Do I need to initial
Yes, you
education?
could, yes, please.
When you
Yeah,
said
do you wanna- I was just thinking, I'm 60 next year. I was thinking, you know, I should have been 22, something like that.
Yeah, I got past 18 and I just went...
That you're on to losing.
it's all downhill from now on, mate.
I know.
Okay. There we go.
Grand, thank you.
Okay, do we have any public questions?
No, none have been received.
Okay. Any letters of objection?
No, none have been received prior to the agenda being sent out, and also none have been received since.
Okay. Shall we move on then to the meat of the meeting, as it were? So page 15 and reference 1573, 7 Carrisbrook Road. Committee does not meet the criteria for us to consider. The next one, 1572, 112 Tufnells Way. Do I read out everything, or what do we do?
Okay,
No.
so
Yeah.
the officer's observations for this was that the raised patio element of the previously refused application has been removed, therefore the reasons for refusal appear to have been addressed. So my suggestion was consider no objection.
Everyone happy?
No objection.
Okay.
Okay, 1576, 2A Ashley Gardens, no comment required by the committee. Everyone happy? Okay, 1595, 73 Coleswood Road. Oh, sorry, I thought that was the end of the last one. Okay, sorry, 1504, the land at the rear of 4 High Elms, Harpenden. Application does not meet the criteria for consideration by the committee. So moving on to 1595, 73 Coleswood Road. 2-storey side and rear extension alterations to openings.
Okay, so permission for a similar scheme has already been granted for the site. The application seeks to extend the proposed 2-storey side element by 2 metres forward on the plot. Consider no objection, is my suggestion.
We have documents.
You do indeed, yeah, if you'd like to take a look. Right, so I've got the application here 1595, which is the new one, and then 0068, which was the application which was already approved.
Does the extra 2 metres considerably alter the building line?
It doesn't, no. So if you can just see, I'll just point with my pen. So it's the element that's extended is where you've got the study on the left-hand side. It's essentially, if you can just sort of kind of visualise along the left-hand side there, that it comes out to about here. a little bit, sorry, a little bit further along, in the,
Okay, so
Yeah.
that's where it comes forward.
that's it, yeah.
Okay.
That's only
So,
about half
yeah,
a metre.
so this one here, is the new one, and that one was the previous one there. So it
Yeah.
comes forward 2 metres essentially, so it's gaining on both the ground floor and the first floor element just by 2 metres further forward.
So it doesn't block the neighbours' windows or anything like that?
No. I think it's just to enable them to utilise better use of the space internally. We've now got sort of reconfiguration of the bathroom here, just sort of, I suppose, to make a larger space, and then downstairs where it was originally proposed as a study from the breakfast room, we've now got it as an extension of the living room.
I assume it's no effect on the parking.
No, it's not, because they've been able to show that the parking space is still retained, yeah. I mean, 2 metres, you haven't lost another space, so what was adequate before will still be adequate now.
Thank you.
Everyone happy?
Yep, no problem.
Okay.
Good. Okay, 1467, 7 and 9 Shakespeare Road. Yeah, I was going to ask you a few comments on what does it mean by tandem scheme?
Okay, so essentially number 7 and number 9 are clubbed together to put in an application that mirrors each other,
Okay, I see.
basically. Yeah, so because they're a pair of semis, it makes sense that if one's doing it, then the other one has the opportunity to do exactly the same. So it's essentially that. What they're doing.
I like that.
Everyone happy, yeah?
Yep.
Good. Okay, 1560, 104 High Street, Harpenden. No comment required by the committee. I don't know which. Is this a shop or a restaurant?
It is, yeah. So 104 High Street, I believe we looked at this last time. Is it Tahini?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, the last one.
And I think 104 comes up again.
It does, yeah.
Happy to not talk about it, as it were.
Yeah.
1571, 16 Churchfield, Harpenden. The application does not meet the criteria of consideration by the committee. Happy? Yep.
Yeah.
1587, 6 St Andrews Avenue. No comment required by the committee. Okay, 1662, St George's School. Okay.
Okay, so the application doesn't differ from the previous application. All that has changed is the proposal now seeks permission to remove the existing classroom building. Replacement does not differ. So it's, yeah, I think it's probably a bit of a technicality where because we're in the conservation area, they need to seek permission to remove
To take it away, right?
Yeah.
We better let them take it away. haven't
They
we?
they withdrew the application and have essentially resubmitted with exactly the same building.
Okay. 1442. Sorry, yeah. Everyone happy?
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on to 1442. 14. Oh, okay, that's not too far from me. 49 West Common Way. Part single, part 2-storey front and rear extensions with roof lights, with a balcony, new opening side to side, and alterations to openings.
I was just going to query building line again.
Okay, if you want to look. This is quite a substantial property I've got sort of noted down here on a good sized plot. The proposals are relatively modest. It's sort of one of these ones where it's a large property and they're nipping a little bit extra here and a little bit extra there. So it doesn't, I don't think the footprint changes dramatically. Actually, that one's quite a good one there, Councillor Walker. If you just look on the little, just in the centre there, there's a very small drawing that shows where the pieces of extensions are going
It doesn't extend further forward.
No, it doesn't. No. So if you look, you can see there's one, two, three, either side. Essentially, a couple of them are 2-storey elements, but most of them are actually just ground floor.
No problem. Is this a conservation area?
It is, yeah. Oh, actually, I don't know. No, I don't think it is actually.
Some of
Yeah, I
West
don't
Way
think it is.
some is and some isn't, I think, on
Where's that
West Common Way.
Wakefield Road? No, it's not. Because there's Oakfield Road there, so it actually ends probably a couple of houses further up.
It's not as far.
That's Oakfield there,
Okay, I see what you mean.
and there's sort of the third house in from Oakfield. So it's the scheme actually ends. But strangely, it doesn't include the houses, it ends in the road.
So this is West Common Way.
This is West Common Way, yeah, and then it sort of carries on round and becomes Oakfield Road. So where Oakfield Road here
Oh yeah.
is here.
It
which is-
misses it by about 3 houses basically.
Ah,
Yeah. But strangely though, if you look, the houses on this side of West Common Way are not part of it. The ones
Yeah.
on the opposite side are.
So happy with
that?
yeah.
you happy with no objection?
Thank you.
Yes. Okay, 1643, Eastmoor Lodge, East Common. No comment required by the committee. Happy? Okay, 1645, 19 Greenway.
Okay, so the proposed extensions are mainly single storey to the side and rear of the property. The first floor extension will cause no impact on the neighbouring property, no increase in bedrooms, just size, no loss of the trees, consider no objection. Plenty of parking, got noted down here.
What's a canopy alongside the elevation? What does that mean?
A canopy is like a sort of an overhang.
Okay, it's not like a material. I don't know, like a material one that it would
no,
fall down
no.
or something like that. No, no.
No, it's
Just a bit of an overhang from
yes,
you.
it is.
Yeah, okay.
Let me see if I
That's
can
fine.
just show you. So it's kind of like a lean-to arrangement at the side. Oh, there we go. That's it there. So
Okay,
it's like
I
a
see,
bit
yeah.
like a
Yeah.
covered
No, I see, yeah,
walkway, I
covered walkway.
suppose, in a sense.
So want to look? Are we all happy? Yep. Okay. So 1646, 20 Pigots Hill Lane. No comment required by the committee. So presumably that's already there because it's a certificate of lawfulness.
No. So certificate of lawfulness generally relates to things where they don't require planning permission, but they're just wanting to have some sort of approval to say yes, this is
Yeah. Okay. I
in
see.
compliance to go with your deeds for the property to show that it was a lawful.
Yeah. No, I see.
Yeah, it generally comes on to permitted development as well. You can
Yeah.
do these sorts of things.
Okay. Everyone happy?
Yeah.
1534, 21 Broadfields, Harpenden. 21 Broadfields. Consider no objection.
Yeah, so the proposal differs little from the approved scheme, apart from the children's bedroom or children's room, which I think is like a playroom downstairs, straight bedroom one. It's got 2-storey extension projecting further forward on the plot. This will cause no adverse effect. I think very similar to the very first application we looked at, they're just choosing to just extend it marginally further forward on the plot than what they've got permission for before. Did you want to have a little look?
You want to look?
Yeah?
I was right.
No?
Everyone happy?
Yeah.
Okay. 1561, 16 Moulton Avenue. Okay, so hot single 2-storey side extension, single-storey rear extension following demolition of garage, Juliet balcony at the back, removal of chimney stack.
Okay, so this one I did actually put down as consider refusal because they are removing 5 trees essentially on the plot and there are no details of a replanting scheme for this. The extensions appear okay and there's enough parking despite the loss of the garage, but strictly in terms of the Harpenden neighbourhood plan it does not comply because of the removal of the trees and nothing to show how they're to be replaced.
5 trees is quite a lot of trees. These all therefore in the back garden?
They're all to the front garden,
to the front,
actually,
are they?
yeah.
Because it was just because it was a side, see the rear extension, so why would it take trees down at the front?
This is quite a strange plot. I'll get all of these
Is it the
pages
one on
out
the
for
corner?
you. It is sort of. It goes, there's like a little close that goes up the side of it.
Yeah, that's Newman's Road.
That's it. Yeah. So it's quite strange because they're wanting to remove the trees because of they are, in a sense, removing the ability to be able to gain access for the cars. So by removing the trees, they're having an in and an out, I think, at the front.
Quite a leafy street as well, so I would be worried about removing trees and
Yeah.
replacing them.
Yeah.
It's quite a nice street, this is where I think it is.
Can we have a look at it?
Yes, we can.
It's just off Douglas Road.
Yes.
I live on
Very
Yes,
close
it
to
is.
you, very
Very
close
well,
to you.
yes, yeah. I did see that there was a letter of objection for Wayne,
Oh, was there?
Mm.
Okay.
which I thought raised a couple of good points.
Yeah, Morton Avenue, Moore, and then TON.
Just we've got Morton End Lane in Horsham.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the road just makes it.
Right,
It's
okay, so
quite
actually,
leafy.
funny enough, it's taken straight to the plot. If I just come down slightly, so
So
there,
see that little sign there? That should show you up towards Newton Drive.
yeah,
Yeah, so
so
it's
that,
this house here, isn't it?
it is, so you can see
Those,
It's these,
there's all these conifers and such like to the front that they're wanting to remove. There's this drawing here, I think, shows, this one that's just there, shows the trees that are due
is that their driveway there? Do they already have an in and out carriage?
That's
Right.
their driveway in,
Yeah.
but the
Yeah.
one next to it is Newman's Drive.
Okay.
So
But-
they can drive out onto Newman's Drive to drive out.
Correct,
Yeah,
yeah.
so that's why some of them are not very happy.
Is there an access way there now already onto Newman's Drive, do you think?
Not that I can see.
Yes, there is.
I could be wrong.
Because what they're, if you look at the drawings, you can see they're wanting to actually, they've got a garage at the back, so they do already have access, in a sense, off of Newman's Drive to access the garage. They're wanting to demolish the garage and have this quite substantial extension that extends over the footprint of the garage and more. So they'll be losing the ability to gain access.
What I picked up that it says something about the site ownership of the boundary. So the letter of objection for something
Oh,
like
right.
of the boundary.
Potentially, so I suppose their boundary line ends off of Newman's or Newlands Close, whatever it's called. Unfortunately, the map won't let me go up there. It's up here. You can see that's the garage.
Okay,
That's the
yeah.
garage. So they've got this here at the moment. So they must already be using
Yeah.
the access there. So what they're looking to do is to remove this garage and have an extension over the site of the garage that will then attach onto the house itself.
Well, some ways, at the district council this week, or the last meeting, there was a climate emergency declared, and there was a lot of discussion about how we're going to be planting more trees. And I've always thought it's a bit funny that we talk about let's keep planting more trees, and yet lots of them are cut down. There's a lot of focus on planting new ones rather than cutting them down. So, in some ways, if it's in our neighbourhood plan, then I think we should stick to our neighbourhood plan, really.
Yeah.
And there wouldn't really be any really alternative way to replace them, is there? I mean, it isn't as if you could replant them somewhere else on that site. is
Can
there?
we go up and
Well,
down the
plenty
street a little bit? I suppose I'm just thinking aloud, are we being a little harsh to them? Because if the rest of the street it has...
It's quite a
Yeah, it's
tree.
leafy.
Quite a leafy
Yeah.
street.
Yeah.
It's
It
quite-
is.
quite-
I think
quite
there's
pleasant
a
looking
street scene argument in the removal of those trees, actually.
Because by the looks of things, everything to the right is much more open,
Yeah.
I would say, with
Mm.
obviously hedging and
Yeah,
things, and then
yeah.
everything to the left has got this sort of very tall screening, in a sense.
I mean, they're all a bit overgrown.
They are.
Yeah, they are.
But it's not to say that they don't remove all of the conifers and everything that's there and replace it with a much more...
British native, here, light,
Yeah.
like canopy, that
Yeah.
sort of thing. Yeah.
There is nothing. All that there is included with the application is the tree report, which states about trees that are to be removed, with the assumption that a planting scheme will be put in place, but there are no details of the planting schemes that they should adopt.
Could they put some trees in the back lawn? And that would be...
They could, I suppose, in a sense, yeah. It doesn't, I mean, the neighbourhood plan doesn't say you have to replace them in the exact site, but I think, you know, by the letter of the neighbourhood plan, they are removing 5 trees. It's not even as if it's just one tree that's been shown as being diseased or dying or anything like that.
And do you go and check?
We don't, no. So it's not within our remit for us to go along and check,
Right.
but it's certainly something that if it's a condition of a planning commission that trees are to be planted, then generally it will come under discharge of conditions. So there will need to be a case of where they will say, okay, these are the conditions placed on the application, and they will invite an officer to come along to show this
That they
is
have
what we've
complied.
done, this is, and then the condition is discharged.
So it's basically the district council enforcement
Yeah.
team.
Go running around counting trees.
Well, yeah.
Not everything necessarily has a condition on it,
No.
to say that you need to provide adequate screening or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, some applications don't have the need for it, but something like this, where they're removing all of the trees that are already in place and not putting anything else in place, it's contrary to our neighbourhood plan.
Yeah. So I'm thinking that we're agreeing that we should refuse for that, for the reasons stated.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Okay. So just to be absolutely clear, I shall just state which policy that I'll be referring to. So it'll be policy ESD 14, which relates to trees and hedges, where it does say here where trees must be lost as a result of development, these must be replaced to a ratio of at least 2 to 1 within the site. Okay, which has not been demonstrated in this application.
Agreed.
Okay.
I don't know how big the back garden is to get 10 trees in, but
Well,
quite.
Yeah.
Five would be a challenge.
Full of space for
Yeah.
what?
You could put some small trees.
Small
Yeah, you could put 5 bonsai in, can't you?
yeah. Okay, very good.
Okay.
Okay, moving on to 1702, 26 Glemsford Drive. Consider no objection.
Right, okay, just bear with me just 2
Okay.
seconds before I lose track of all of this. I'll end up with a big pile of papers. Okay, the proposals appear similar to others in the street. Some are actually more substantial. 2 parking spaces have been allocated, which my question is being okay. 45-degree angle has been taken into consideration on the 2-storey element, and there's no loss of trees on the site.
Yeah, that road has got lots of upward extension.
Yes, there's all sorts.
Yeah.
There's some flat roofs, dormers at the rear, skylights at the front.
Mm.
It's really good.
What's the difference between a hip and a gable?
Now you're asking. Right, so a gable, as you're looking at it, is like that, whereas a hip is just a single thing. That's the easiest way for me to describe it.
Okay, we've learned something as well too. Okay,
Probably
so
a
we're
much more technical term than my description, but...
so we're happy with no objection?
Yeah.
Okay. No objection.
No.
1723, 34 Dalkeith Road. Consider no objection.
Okay, proposals on the plot. I think plot is a good size. Neighbours are a good distance away. Other properties in the road have done something very similar. Frontage to be reconfigured to accommodate 3 cars. The style and design are in keeping. Do not feel proposals will cause an adverse effect.
Do we want to look at this one?
This is another one that's got a letter of objection, and they're
Okay.
talking about the raised patio, and also they're very concerned that the beach hedge should be retained.
So it might be worth having a look at this one.
Yeah.
It's quite a, I don't know, it's quite a visible street, if you know what I mean, isn't it? Yeah.
It is.
Okay, so one, yep. The roof form. Elevation. It's probably quite useful for me to just get out the existing for you to make a
Yeah.
comparison. So there's the A4 size of the existing.
Okay. It's like it's been pumped up a bit.
Doesn't it? It's, got a bit
That,
better.
the bedroom, and that's the ground floor.
Yeah, look at that. That.
Can we have a look at the street?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does show quite
Yeah.
long, isn't it?
But on the other hand, it's only going back as far as the neighbouring properties on both sides.
I think what sort of kind of in a sense set a precedent slightly was that, down road in London,
What's happened elsewhere?
is that a couple of doors along is another rather substantial extended property. So this is the one in question.
Yeah.
It's here, and
Okay.
then two along, we've got quite a pumped up, extended
Mm.
property. I did spend quite a bit of time looking at it, but once I started looking in terms of the floor, the footprints of the neighbouring properties, the distance to the one, certainly the one to the right of it, I was sort of struggling to find a reason for me to have a major issue with it.
Where's the hedge that's causing the problem?
I think it might be down the side of the gardens.
Maybe if they're on the right, it looks quite big.
There's quite a leafy.
I guess that's provided,
Yeah,
at the
that's quite a
moment,
big
provides
hedge
quite a lot
on
of
that
privacy,
side,
doesn't it?
isn't
It does, yeah.
Well, they're proposing to.
There's nothing detailed to say that they are to remove anything.
What about this raised patio? Haven't we got a picture of that, have we?
The raised patio
What's on
is
there?
this one here.
And how much is it raised by? Yeah.
Unfortunately, I haven't got any side sections, as they call it, where you can actually look at it. It doesn't.
It says raised level with...
internal closet. It's going to be raised a huge amount, isn't it?
You might be able to see actually on the elevational drawing, just underneath. Does it show the house?
This
How much up
presumably,
it's
so
going?
it flows nicely from the inside to the
Yeah.
outside, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can see why they'd like it, but
Yeah.
patio level...
Yeah, going on about a foot, actually.
I think it's probably to remove the need for you to have steps to go out, because of looking at these lovely artist impressions that we've got, which I probably should have got out earlier, they've got all these lovely bifold doors, so they're almost opening outside into the house.
So when you look at it like that, there's quite a few, there are
Steps.
quite a few
Yeah.
steps, aren't there?
But I don't know what the topography of
Yeah.
the house is
It
like
looks quite a
already.
flat road, but
Yes,
I think
I'm
it's
not
like
aware
a-
of it.
maybe it's
I
looked
don't
at.
know, but I think if I'll go a little bit further along, because where Crabtree School is, the road does go
Yeah,
down.
that's true. I think, can we get like a top view of it?
I can,
Helicopter view.
yeah. So if I just go a little bit further.
Can we fly a drone? over?
Yes, I was just thinking that, yeah.
That makes it look quite high.
Yeah. I think it's the number of steps. I don't know how.
It's also when you...
Yeah.
Right, so I believe it's
I assume the house was struck down.
Yeah.
two. I've just lost track of which
Okay,
one
I'm
it
not sure. I don't
is.
know whether it's
Yeah.
I
So
think
is it
it's.
two?
Yeah, I think it's just the other side of that dark.
49 Gordon Way.
Oh no, it's this one here. Okay, so from that new extended one, it's two along. So when I look at it from above, so that's the extended one there. Oh, okay, so it's actually done the pin now. So
Okay,
that's
yes, yeah.
34 there. Oh no, hang on a moment. It is, sorry, that's the
34,
extended one,
okay.
so it's this one No, it is.
No,
No, because
Yes,
there's
the
another
hedge,
extended
isn't it?
one,
Yeah.
isn't there? I mean, obviously the extended one to the left that's quite a long way.
It does.
No.
It does. It's
See, when
quite-
you look
quite
to the property-
significant.
To the right, there's quite a wide gap. So in terms of any impact on the neighbour to that side, it's minimal.
Agreed. And I mean, I understand that they would prefer that hedge to be maintained, and maybe it is going to be, but it's not. I don't think it's really a material planning consideration.
Well, it seems to appear that it's on the drawing.
Yeah.
If this is the hedge that they're talking about, it's on the proposed drawing, so I don't think they're proposing to
I
remove
wonder
it.
whether it's that hedge on the left behind the house.
Oh, what, this one here?
Yeah, whether the patio would affect it.
Okay. Yeah. I suppose if it's been raised up, then you're going to be looking down. As that, I don't know.
I think it might be worth saying, loss of subject to loss of immunity.
Certainly say that.
Yeah.
Because how
Yeah,
they do the
cool.
foundations on the patio, the roots on that hedge will probably be quite significant.
True.
I think the raising of the back patio is just because it looks to me like that's been a river bed at some point. So I would say that that's slopes down on both sides.
Quite a long garden, I guess.
Yeah.
All I know is for sure that when you go down to Crabtree School, you go down the hill.
You do, don't you?
Yeah, that's true.
Because there was, I don't know if you, probably a while ago now, there was an application where they were wanting to demolish a house and replace it with a pair. So there was toing and froing with that, and I know that the topography of it certainly came into question because we ended up with the one on the left appearing much higher than the one on the right because of the slope of the road. So we want to have no loss of amenity to...
So what our options are to consider no objection, but we can express concern.
Yes.
Is the feeling that we want to express concern?
I would. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, express concern over potential loss of amenity to number...
I didn't make a note of that.
To the neighbour?
It'll be number 30, I can tell. Is it number 32? On the one that's to the left of that, Nicola, that's it.
That's
That's
the
no.
32.
32 or 36?
On that side it's 32 because it's 46 that way, isn't it?
Yeah. 36.
Talks about a new vehicle crossover as well.
Yeah.
Are they creating?
Yeah.
Are they creating a carriage driveway?
Yeah, because they want a second drop curb.
Does that impact on parking? There's a dotted line all the way down there, isn't there? I don't know if you can see it.
They've got ample parking to the frontage.
I mean, sorry, the street, but it's creating a way to obviously across the pavement. But what is the? But it looks to me as though that you can park outside those houses.
You can, oh yes, absolutely. But it is
So are we taking a parking space away, I suppose, is what I'm saying.
No, if you just extend.
They're not allocated parking spaces.
I know, but if they're creating another crossover,
Yes,
Yeah.
they're taking one away.
Then-
Right.
Yeah.
to be able to use that crossover,
You're eliminating.
you must be eliminating some of the parking.
Right.
Because you'd have to drop the curb.
Isn't there restricted parking along that?
There is part of the controlled parking zone, yeah, but they're not allocated spaces.
So you can't park between in the morning?
You can, yes, you can, but it's just you have to have a permit. So it's designed really
So
Stops
commuters.
commuters.
It
Yeah,
for
stops
commuter parking,
That's
yeah.
certainly Overston Road, which is very close, isn't it? Maybe the next one. You can't park there without a permit between midday
10
and
and
1.
12,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah, it's only
10
like
and 12, yeah.
between 10 and 12, or just 1 hour just to stop. So generally, that is an available parking space. I suppose is what I'm saying.
But presumably they'd have to put in a separate application to drop the curb.
Not to this, they apply to county.
Yeah, I meant in terms
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
that would be considered at some point as to
Yeah, you're right.
part
Okay.
of the road element of it.
So the county consider that, do they?
I would think so.
I'm not sure that they do take that into consideration necessarily about the potential loss of a parking space. Certainly in Dalkeith Road, because they are not allocated spaces, if they were actually properly marked out bays, then possibly they may, but this is just, you can see here you've got the white marks to say definitely no parking in these areas because of these are driveways, but they aren't allocated spaces. They aren't, it's designated parking to say you've got to park within this area, but it's not allocated parking spaces. So I don't think county would take that into consideration when giving permission for a block perk.
It's strange because it's 34 and 41.
Or something being knocked out then.
It's 36 and 38
Yeah.
have fallen by the wayside at some
Can't see
point.
that drawing to 30?
This one.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not sure whether I'm not sure it's in our remit to say, but probably there you might be going from two cars could park on the road to one car, I guess.
Yeah, you're right.
So the smaller houses, perhaps where people do park, I don't know. Is it something we can express concern about? Or
We
do
can, it's entirely up to you. We can. I mean, Dalkeith Road is not a road where I believe there are properties that do not have off-street parking. If this
Yeah.
was Council Road or Overstone, where
Yeah.
actually there is no off-street parking available to a majority of the properties, then I think that that would be a very valid point. However, Dalkeith Road, I'm fairly sure every single property has off-street parking for at least 2, if not 3 cars. But it's certainly something if you wish to raise,
I don't know,
you
what do you
can.
think? I'm thinking more for visitors, for visitors. But I mean, it's not really.
I'm
It's
not.
not a major thing if they're not bothered. we're not
Yeah.
listening.
I don't think.
We haven't got a policy to cover it, have we?
Fine. So, expressing concern due to loss of amenity
Yeah.
to the neighbours, basically.
Yeah.
It's number 32, isn't it?
Well, not according to that.
Well,
Well, not-
we're
yeah.
not absolutely sure, because this way, 34 seems to run directly into 40. We're assuming, of course, that that is 32, but
Well,
Are you on the one on the right?
could we just say to immediate neighbours?
Yeah.
Because arguably the patio could be either side.
Okay.
Well, it looks like it goes the full length of the house.
Yeah.
It goes the full length of the house.
Yeah.
But Jim's
I was working on the basis that if someone broke the
Okay.
glass, I'd rather it be me.
Okay. So we've got a couple now where the comment is not required by the committee. 1761, 28 Pipers Avenue. Loft extension certificate of lawfulness. No comment required. We're happy. And 1782, 139 Old Rookbury Crescent. Not required by the committee. No comment required. Okay. This is our twin town mentioned. 1856, 55, I don't know how to pronounce it, Alzey,
Altsea Garden.
Alzey Gardens.
should be outside, because outside is the town, but everyone does it.
Oh,
Okay.
oh, stand corrected, outside.
Yeah.
Outside.
Yeah, because the Z is a TS in German.
Okay. Learn something else.
Is that
Consider-
German A-level kicking in?
I think you knew it would come.
Consider no objection. Single plot, 2-story site extension, raising of garage roof, conversion.
Okay.
Any comment?
Yeah, the location of the plot is so that proposals will not impact on the surrounding properties. Other properties have done similar, actually a good addition to the property. That's it.
I'm assuming that there's enough parking even with the partial conversion of the garage.
There is.
Everyone happy to consider no objection?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. 1257, 70 West Common Way. This application does not meet the criteria for consideration by the committee. Agreed?
Yep.
1690, Tendy Uplands. This application does not meet the criteria for consideration by the committee. Agreed? 1765, 28 Pipers Avenue again. So again, we just had Pipers Avenue. Yeah. This application does not meet the criteria for consideration by the committee. Agreed? 1780, 50 Oakfield Road. The application does not meet criteria for consideration by the committee. 1683, 29 Townsend Lane. No comment required by the committee.
May I just mention actually, Councillor, that this is where we've got discharge conditions relating to hard and soft landscaping. So your question about the trees being checked by districts, this is an example of where this has been sent checked by district.
Okay. 1703, Harpenden Sports Centre, Northampton Park. No comments required by the committee. Okay, 1715, 18 Douglas Road. The application does not meet the criteria for consideration by the committee. Agreed. 1726, 44A West Common. And the recommendation, consider no objection.
Yes, so my notes say that proposals differ very little from the approved schemes. To an untrained eye, they are very hard to spot. Mainly changes are born out of the building of the works. So I think whilst the builder's been doing them, he's noticed that some things are logistically more tricky. So they've resubmitted with these slight amendments just to make the build much more agreeable, I suppose.
So, okay, so they've already got permission to create the additional first floor accommodation. It's just raising the roof to facilitate it.
So basically what's happened is that they've got planning permission for pretty much all of that information that's on there.
Yeah.
However, whilst they're in the process of building it, they have done some slight tweaks, slight changes. So in a sense, what's going to be the finished article is not going to match the drawings of what they've got planning permission for. So they've had to come back with the drawings slightly amended to represent what is going to be, the finished article.
Everyone happy with that?
Yes.
There is a sort of a detailed letter here that does accompany it, which explains exactly what they're needing to make the changes to. And you're talking about sort of like 75 millimetres here and 400 millimetres lower than shown on the original drawings, etc.
Okay,
so it's actually quite small amendments to the scheme.
Okay. 1727, 7 Pondwick Road. Application does not meet the criteria for consideration by the committee. Everyone happy with that?
Mm-hmm.
1739, 32 Bowers Way. Application does not meet the criteria for consideration by the committee. 1760, 2 Salisbury Avenue. The application does not meet the criteria for consideration by the committee.
You just asked Heather, so we refused it and it got through at district, or what happened to this one?
Which one's that?
The 2 blocks of flats on Salisbury Avenue.
Yes, so that actually was, I don't know if it was one at district actually, wasn't it? Did it go to Plans North, I'm fairly sure? This was a Jarvis application, or was it wasn't on an appeal, was it?
No, well, I think there was a little bit of disquiet from the ward councillors, because I think when I don't know whether it went to appeal, but, well, no, I don't think it went to appeal, but effectively when it came before committee, it didn't come before Plans North, it came before Plans Referrals, and therefore not all those councillors, because it's the whole district, not all the councillors will visit all the sites, whereas you normally would, Plans North, and likewise a lot of those councillors are not from Harpenden either. So I believe permission was granted, but it wasn't granted by Plans North, it was granted by Plans Referrals.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Okay, so I think we're 1760, to Salisbury Avenue, that's what we've just done. Are we
Yeah.
agreeing? Well, yeah,
Yeah.
no consider, yeah. Does not meet the criteria. 1766, 11C Douglas Road, officer recommendation, consider no objection.
Okay, so the only changes from the previously approved application are changes to the brickwork design, to the porch, and technical detail that is added in relation to the roof tiles. Okay.
Yep, agree. 1772, 104 High Street, presumably Tahini.
It is, yes.
Okay, consider repeating previous recommendation.
Yes, the only reason why this has come back, I assume, is due to a technicality, is that exactly the same application has come back, but all that has been added is technical detail has been added to the drawings about the awning.
Okay,
So that's basically
seems
it.
reasonable.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Right, that's everything there. Item 7,
Yep.
appeals.
So none have been received on this occasion.
Item 8, prior notifications.
Yep, there was just one prior notification relating to Harpenden. So that essentially, in a sense, we just note we aren't asked to consider these. It's just really for our information so that we're aware.
Are we happy to note them?
Yes.
Okay, item 9, list of weekly St Albans District Council decisions. We're noting those.
We are, yeah, essentially they're just there for councillors' information so that they're aware of the status of certain applications that we've considered in the past.
Okay, happy to note them.
Mm-hmm.
Number 10, item 10, application for tree work.
Likewise,
to note them.
Yeah, purely for information.
Date of next meeting. Planning committee meeting to be held on the 20th, Tuesday the 20th of August at 7:30.
Indeed.
And Plans North has just been cancelled, so it is not taking place now on Monday the 19th of August
I
due to
can
lack
actually
of
make-
business.
I can make a note, say post meeting or post application or post agenda note that this meeting has been cancelled.
Due to lack of business, yeah.
Yeah.
Item 12, close. Close the meeting at 8:20.